Welcome back. It's the Kovacs Report. It's time to take a look at Marvel Knights, The World to Come, issue 2 by Christopher Priest and Joe Quesada. Now, issue 1 was one of my favourite books of last month. I've been very, very excited, to say the least, to find out what happens in issue 2. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to dive in, go page by page. I'm going to give you my thoughts. So there will be spoilers. As usual, please read the book if you don't want the book spoilt. Like the video if you like the video, and hit subscribe. Go on, hit it right now. Right this second, hit subscribe. It will make a huge difference to the channel, and I'd really, really appreciate it. Now, there is a lot to unpack in issue 2. Oh boy, there is a lot to unpack. And it's told across various timelines, so it does jump around everywhere, but the story is very, very interesting. Now, the big reveal from the end of issue 1 was T'Challa, the king of Wakanda. His throne is being challenged by none other than his son, and they've got this very ritual combat they have to go through for a challenger to take the throne from the current king. Now, T'Challa, he's holding back a bit because the reveal is it's his son. But the bigger reveal is that his son is white, right? So we're thinking, oh my God, who is this kid? Where does he come from? Who's his mother? How did this happen? So it's absolutely huge. Also, at the end of issue 1, one of the elite guard is talking to this rebel that's smuggling water in or out of Wakanda. My memory slips, and we find out who that person is. It's actually none other than Everett Kenneth Ross. Now, he is an agent for the FBI, and we get a little backstory from him, and it's quite tragic, really. It's a little bit Shakespearean, and I actually feel sorry for the guy. So you see him here sitting on the toilet in hell, basically, and it looks like Mephisto is calling him, say, Agent Ross. You can hear him calling her, and he explains, and I'm going to read this bit because it's quite important. It says, I once met a devil in Brooklyn. He gave me a pair of pants. I sold my soul for a pair of pants. I've been taking a dump in hell ever since, but I'm getting ahead of myself. A lifetime ago, I was a diplomat. I had one client, a grown man with a cat fetish. T'Challa, Black Panther. My reward was I got turfed over to Blair House, the US diplomatic corps, bed and breakfast. So I was transferred to an airless cubicle at Justice for action-packed days of counting paperclips. Much better. The race war and Z, a deadly new street drug with mind control properties, changed all of that. So it's laying the landscape here. So he's basically stuck in a cubicle. He's pretty much given up. And we find out a little bit more about that. Anyway, Mephisto's here saying, take out your gun, kill everyone in the office, then shoot yourself. It's really dark, really, really dark. And that sort of hell moment twists to where he actually is right now. And that's in the toilet, hiding in the FBI offices, or rather not the FBI, the justice officers. Anyway, he says PTSD is everything it's said to be. All right, so this guy is suffering. He's not enjoying his life. He's just going on day by day by day. And we meet this woman, I'm assuming it's his girlfriend, called Noel Adams. And she is unbearable. Honestly, she is extremely unpleasant. And I think she's also very, very pregnant. She's very demanding. She's not a nice woman at all. And he just puts up with it. I think he's just going along with the flow. He's given up on life. Anyway, we do discover that it's actually the twin sister of the woman he loved who died. Now, I don't know how she died, but I think what happened is he just basically fell into her arms, and they got it on from that point onwards. Now, these twin sisters also have a little bit of history of Black Panther, and we find that he met his this twin sister at T'Challa's second wedding to Monica Rambeau, after he split up with Aurora Storm. So it's all interconnected, and you realize that this guy does have a long history with the Black Panther. Anyway, in the past, he's taking her somewhere she wants to be. They've got to go see her mother. He doesn't like her mother, and her overbearingness just I don't know, it flicks a switch in his head, and he decides to park the car at some kind of mart, pick up some cigarettes, but he does come back. He just walks off. He's like, I am done. And he says he doesn't notice these sirens and this huge explosion. And we see something crush the car where his girlfriend, pregnant girlfriend, is in. And obviously it kills her. Anyway, here we meet him in present time talking to one of the members of the Dora Milaje. And they're, again, like I say, they're like the elite force of Wakanda and the bodyguards to T'Challa, or the king of Wakanda themselves. And he goes through some of his history. So here he is. He says that he became an FBI agent and he was really enjoying it. He had this partner, which we don't see. So maybe that partner could be someone like, I don't know, Frank Castle or Nick Fury. I don't know, but he's called the general. He's kept in shadow, so we don't know who he is. Anyway, while they're busting these drug dealing cartels, right, he goes for a He goes for a whiz, let's just say, and he's greeted by this very, very silent Wakandan ship. It's a beautiful full page. I really, really, really love it. And what I do love about this is they talk about the fact that these engines, they run on near silent magnetic drives, and the warriors are silent. And I love the idea of this elite Wakandan force. You know, you don't even hear them coming, much like the Predator, right? And they go in there and they send out this beam, and it knocks all of the drug dealing cartels people out, except for his partner. And they basically kidnap him. They take him back to Wakanda. On the plane, he meets Monica Lynn, or is it Monica Lynn Panther, he says. So there's some connection there with the Panthers. Now, he says, right, T'Challa's about to make a huge mistake, and I need your help. So there's this empty case. You're thinking, what's in the case? But it's empty. It is completely empty. And then we get another flashback. Now, this is, again, it jumps around all over the place. So sometimes you're missing what's going on. But right here, we find out that Black Panther and Monica lost a child. This was to be the prince, the heir to the throne of Wakanda, but they lost this child. And then we jump 23 years before the world to come to Crozet, where we find out that Noel's mum, that's the woman that died in the car earlier, the twin sister of the woman that he originally loved, was paid a visit by the Dora Milaje and the king himself, all right? Now, she's sitting there with a shotgun. Now, she blames the Wakandans for the death of both her daughters, so I'm going to assume that explosion before something to do with Wakandans, and that's what crushed the car, and maybe her original daughter. Something happened in the past connected to the Wakandans, so both her daughters, she hates these people. And the thing is, her little speech bubble says cash, no personal checks, and here a baby crying in some kind of cooler. So she's selling a child to the king of Wakanda. Now, I'm going to assume that the woman that died in the car, this Noel woman, now maybe she died, but the baby survived. Right now, he'd obviously wandered off by this point. Maybe he didn't even know that the child was born. He might have assumed that the child died. But it goes to show how horrible this woman is as well, right? I mean, why would you sell a baby to people that you hate and you think are responsible for the death of both your daughters? It's a real dark, sad moment all at the same time. It really, really is. Anyway, the baby's taken back to Wakanda, and Shuri laughs her head off. She laughs her head off because, of course, the baby, not only does it not have any Wakandan blood, it's white. She's like, this is not an heir to Wakanda, and she saunters off. And we jump straight back to this child now fighting his father. Now, his father is pulling his punches, I think, a little bit. He doesn't want to hurt his son, but he also, at the same time, doesn't want to concede and give the throne to him, because his son is kind of been brainwashed by the priests of Wakanda. They want the old days back, right? They're a great believer in this old tradition, and they've noticed that, like I said earlier, T'Challa's aging, his hairs are greying, he's indecisive, maybe he's not the man, maybe he's too modernist, we don't know, but they kind of want him out, so they're backing his son. While that's happening, we can see that Monica here and Everett K. Ross, they are sort of committing sacrilege, and they're going to this sacred Wakandan temple, which is intertwined with like the tree of life. So the Wakandan scripture claims that all life begins here. So it's a very, very sacred place, and they're doing something to it. And the case is with them. So after we jump back and forward, the fight between T'Challa and his son is almost at its end, and his father falls wounded, bleeding into the water as they turn up. Now, the boy, T'Challa's son, all right, adopted son, as we know now, takes a spear and throws it at Ross, all right, and narrowly misses him, and he falls to the waterfall. And the boy runs over and says, "You who murdered my mother." So he knows who this guy is, and Ross has no idea who he is at this point. He's like, what the hell? What's going on? But in the melee, the case has fallen open. There are 3 very sacred Black Panther cubs, and they all fall to their knees to worship. Now, while that's happening, the son clocks his father, calls him a defiler, because obviously they've stolen these sacred animals from this temple, and he's not happy. But Diego, wait, I think that means halt. I think that means the word you say when you submit. And the thing that happens that nobody wants to happen happens, and that is T'Challa submits. He gives the throne to his son to avoid whatever's going to happen next. And his son is now crowned King of Wakanda. Wow. Absolute wow. Now, you do see before that final panel, this very smug chap surrounded by these monks. You see him lift his weapon in order to maybe strike the killing blow to his father. So I don't think he kills him, actually, because in the beginning of issue 1, we actually see the old man die, right? So maybe he severely wounds him and he's exiled. We don't know what happens, but he dies a king. So it's all very, very interesting, all very confusing at the same time. But I'm really, really enjoying it. So again, it's really interesting story. You find out there's been race wars. This Z drug's been introduced. Where does the Z come from? Does it come from Wakanda? You know, Wakanda have a hold over the world with this vibranium, and other nations are angry about it. We now see a white man lead a black nation surrounded and backed by natives. It's all very, very, very mysterious and intriguing, and it all going to lead to some huge, huge event. Now, this for me, I really enjoyed it. I've seen some sort of mentions on X that people didn't like it, but I'm thoroughly engaged, absolutely thoroughly engaged. I want to know who, Everett K. Ross's buddy was. Does he come into play later on? I want to know more that's going on with the history of Everett. You know, what else has been going on? Why is he in the Resistance now? You know, what happened to his original wife? It's pretty good. And how does Mephisto come into all of this? So there's a lot of questions raised and very few answered, and that's the hook. So for me, this has been another hit issue. I'm really looking forward to issue 3. I don't know what else to say. It was great. Go read it, go buy it if you haven't, and if you have read it, let me know what you think of my thoughts. So until next time, take care, read more comics, and we'll catch you in the next video.